CBS 7 News presents Closer Look.
Welcome to Closer Look, everyone. I'm Robert Guadarrama in for Haley Burks. Each year, the Junior League of Midland makes an effort to be a positive influence in the lives of West Texas girls in a program called Face the Race. The program spans 11 weeks and not only offers fun and games for those that take part, it also teaches life lessons that they may have to learn the hard way. Joining us now in the newsroom is Courtney Riley with the Junior League of Midland. Courtney, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, can you give us the basic overview of Face the Race and what it does?
Face the Race is a program put on by the Junior League of Midland that mentors 7th and 8th grade girls, and we also train them to run in a 5K race.
All right, and what kind of lessons are taught during the 11 weeks?
In the mentoring sessions, we cover a variety of topics, and we try to hit nutrition, physical fitness, some relationships, some career training. We have an etiquette session. We have quite a few different topics that we'd like to talk about.
And tell us, who can take part in that program?
7th and 8th grade girls at both Goddard and Abel Junior High Schools.
All right, and is there a fee to take part in the program?
No, there's no fee. It's absolutely free, and the more the merrier.
Absolutely. And then tell us what happens at the end of the 11-week program. What happens once that's over?
Once the program is over, we put on a 5K race and celebrating the girls that completed the program. And it's held out at Scarborough Sports Complex. It's a lot of fun, and we just really try to train the girls to be able to run and complete this race.
Absolutely. Now tell us, is the run for those in the program only, or can the community take part in that as well?
The community is welcome to this race. We put it on celebrating the girls, and it's not a celebration unless there's lots of people there to support them and cheer them on through the race.
Great. Sounds like a lot of fun, Courtney. Now tell us, why is it important for a junior league to do this in your own words?
It's important for the junior league to do this because it touches these young girls' lives. It gives them self-esteem, a kind of a self-respect, and if it touches one girl's life and helps them get through and finish well, then it's important for us to do that for them.
Great. And for people who want more information, where can they go for that?
You can visit our website at www.jlmidland.org, and we also have a Facebook page. It's Face the Race on Facebook.
Sounds great. Any of the numbers on there as well. Anything else you'd like to add, Courtney?
Our race is at Scarborough Sports Complex on November 16th. It's a Saturday. There will be face painting, a photo booth. We're just going to have lots of fun. It's 80s theme this year, so come out with your big hair and your neon socks and run this race with these girls.
Sounds like a lot of fun, a great cause, and it sounds like a fun race too. Courtney Riley with the Junior League of Midland, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your wonderful program with us.
Thank you, Robert.
Coming up, tens of thousands of Americans may suffer from a chronic disease and they may not even realize it. And now Congress is devoting a day out of the year to help spread the word. Later in our show, we'll sit down with one West Texas man who struggles with the disease. But first, the countdown to Obamacare is nearly over, and it has West Texans talking. After the break, we'll check in with KCRS 550's Robert Hallmark to find out what all the chatter was on today's morning drive, right here on CBS 7's Closer Look.
Closer Look, presented by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Texas.
Imagine if you could design your own custom sofa and have it delivered in days. Impossible? Not anymore. Now you can with iSofa at Rooms to Go. First, choose your style. Next, choose your color. Then pick your pillows and buy it online instantly. Or check it out in person at a Rooms to Go store. The iSofa at Rooms to Go. We make it easy. You make it your own.
Okay, it's the Built Ford Tough sales event, so let's crunch the numbers. See, when it comes to building stuff and hauling stuff to keep America growing, more folks count on Ford F-150. Hey, the numbers don't lie. We own work. And only F-150 has the best combo of fuel economy and torque. That's EcoBoost, pal. One more thing. We own weekends, too, because hauling stuff ain't always work.
Now get 0 for 66 or up to $9 grand in total savings on F-150 at your best in Texas Ford dealer.
Wake up with a perfect match.
We're not that much alike.
Every morning, wake up to Live with Kelly and Michael.
Stop it. Stop what?
Yeah.
Show of support. Hunt for Heroes invites you to tune in to CBS 7, Sundays from 6:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. to see our hunting show.
Stop. Whether it's on the way to school, at school, or online, bullying has become a non-stop threat to our youth today. Is your child being bullied? The National Runaway Switchboard can help. If you're having a hard time, get online or call to chat now.
We are Stihl, German-engineered chainsaws and landscape products.
The majority of which are made here in America by Americans.
Stihl, built in America and sold exclusively by America's 8,000 local Stihl dealers. Hard-working Stihl blowers start at just $149.95. Stihl, #1 in America. Find a dealer near you at StihlDealers.com.
Mix 106.7, home of the John Tash Radio Show. Intelligence for your life, your money, your health. With Murphy, Sam, and Jody in the morning. Local news, weather, and a great mix of music all day while you work. The Basin's Mix at Work. Mix 106.7.
Welcome back. West Texans tune into the Morning Drive on KCRS 550 to catch up on all the latest hot-button topics and controversies. Joining me now is co-host of the show, Robert Hallmark. Robert, happy Friday. Yep. What was all the chatter about today?
Well, I'll tell you, Robert, you know, we've talked and conversed and talked a lot about the health care program that's being put in place, and October 1st is a date that a lot of folks, I think a lot of our listeners especially, but a lot of folks in the Permian Basin are kind of dreading to see come about, especially with all the arguing and fussing they're doing about this now in Washington. I've been doing news talk here and really discussing politics and how they affect West Texas for 12 years now. I mean, really concentrating on the news every day, and I think this may be one of the lowest points for just general, good feelings about Congress and all the people that are up there that I've ever had in my life. It seems to be a real mess up there. I just saw a headline flash by on one of the websites that said that Congress was reaching Civil War levels of disagreement. And if you remember history, boy, during the Civil War, they were at each other's throats. We had a couple of folks over this morning that have been with us before. It's Mike Avery and Craig Dawson, members of the West Texas, let me get it right. It's the West Texas Healthcare Underwriters Association. So it's an organization in West Texas of various healthcare underwriters. It's not a single company, so it's not brand X or Z.
Right.
And just to talk about what was taking place and how it would be affecting folks in the Permian Basin. And the object of our discussion, and we held them over for 2 segments this morning. They stayed for an hour, answering phone calls and just basically getting the information. Oh, there is a ton of questions. Who do you call? I mean, if you want insurance, if your employer doesn't provide it, what do you do? Even if your employer provides it, what do you do? What do you do? And there's a lot of questions still out there for a lot of folks, and what you do. And again, remember, October 1st is not a deadline; it's simply a starting point for some of this stuff.
But even so close to this, the open enrollment, it really is. There's still a lot of confusion about it. There is. Close to it going into effect. And
one of the things that these guys shared with us is that a lot of this keeps changing. And in fact, when we set them in to come in today, I mean, really, Craig said, "You sure you want us to come today, or you want us to wait till maybe October 2nd or something? Do we see really what happens?" I said, "No, let's just go ahead because we've had a lot of questions about it, and there's a lot of it's going to still be the same. I have a feeling, despite what may change between now and then, but there's just a lot of confusion. Hopefully, we answered a lot of questions today, and we've got segments of this that we'll be playing back off and on the air. But basically, how do you get a hold of these network providers, or how do you get on this marketplace? I think they're calling it the marketplace now for insurance.
Absolutely.
And these guys said, well, no, we are the marketplace. You'll come and contact us, and we'll determine if you actually need to go into the Obama system, or if it's just going to be your regular health care plan that you need to get.
Right.
We talked a bit about the taxing or the fines that may take place if you don't have insurance. Those really don't kick in until you filed your income taxes on 2014, which is a year away.
Right. You know, and going back to Capitol Hill, is the government shutdown worth putting off Obamacare?
See, this is the question.
Here.
This is the question, and I mean, Boehner has come forth and he said, look, says Republicans, from his part, don't want to shut down the government, and they don't want Obamacare. Well, at the end of the day, you're going to come around, and one of these is going to have to give, or something's going to have to happen. So how's that going to materialize here by October 1st, next Tuesday? It's going to be an interesting weekend. I think there's going to be some real negotiations going on. I am impressed by the number of people who've called us who said they have called their congressman, in our case, Mike Conaway, or their senators.
Right, exercise that right, and they really are both digging in their heels.
And
both
they
sides,
are
and
getting.
It should be very interesting, like you said. But you're right, something will have to happen, and it'll have to happen soon, because we cannot go with limited funding for government for very long. So we'll have to wait and see what side budges really, because I'm not sure much of a compromise is going to be found.
Like I said, they're describing Congress over here on the latest file that I saw as civil war levels of disagreement. So boy, it's tough in Washington these days.
We'll definitely keep our eye on it. Robert Hallmark, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you next week.
You bet.
Continue on that topic, 3 days and counting to a government shutdown, and the debt ceiling debate remains on the horizon as well. Jim Acosta reports.
3 days and counting, and there is no compromise in sight that could avert a government shutdown. And right behind that September 30th shutdown deadline, the nation could go into default roughly 2 weeks later, unless Congress raises the debt ceiling. Despite warnings from economists of a disaster, Republicans say they'll approve an increase in the debt limit only if the president agrees to their demands, like delaying Obamacare by a year and more budget cuts. But President Obama says he won't negotiate over the debt ceiling.
To suggest America not pay its bills just to try to blackmail a president into giving them some concessions on issues that have nothing to do with the budget. I mean, this is the United States of America. We're not a deadbeat nation.
The White House is ratcheting up the rhetoric, accusing some Republicans of acting like terrorists.
We are for cutting spending. We're for reforming our tax code. We're for reforming our entitlements. What we're not for is negotiating with people who have a bomb strapped to their chest.
American people, this is the GOP. We have your economy.
The Democratic Party is echoing that message, releasing this fake debt ceiling ransom call from the GOP.
Clock's ticking. We hope you don't make us do this.
Republicans say that kind of talk is an outrage.
It's completely unrealistic for the president to say that we're not going to negotiate over the debt ceiling, that he thinks somehow that we should be just giving him another blank check to continue these record deficits.
GOP leaders point to new polls showing Americans want the president to negotiate, trading budget cuts for an increase to the debt ceiling.
The president says, I'm not going to negotiate. Well, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't work that way.
We call on the president now to sit down with us, Harry Reid, to sit down with us, and let's solve the problem.
Jim Acosta, CNN, the White House.
CBS 7's Sarah Strackhouse joins us now with a look at one of the stories we're working on for our next newscast at 5.
Glasscock Independent School District is trying to pass a $20 million bond for renovations and safety precautions that the school needs. That story coming up at 5.
Sarah, thank you. And up next on Closer Look, the leader of...
With a push of this button, the world will be mine.
Now listen, Red Eye. That's this slow internet from the phone company.
Common sense here. So no doomsday today?
How can I take over the world when we have DSL? You know we all can't be online at once.
Get Cable One high-speed internet. It's 10 times faster than DSL, so everyone can go online at the same time. Ooh, what does this button do? Really? Cable One, it's just common sense.
My mall, my world.
Green Mall, where you have it all.
Coming up on CBS 7 News at 6, the very latest on an officer-involved shooting in Big Spring that left a 19-year-old man dead. We'll have coverage from the neighborhood and the status of the deputy who has been put on administrative leave. The people in the city of Rankin are working together to raise money for education, but they're still short of their goal. Find out how much they've raised so far and how you can help. Coming up tonight at 6.
It's time for the 2013 West Texas Baby Pageant. You can register free right now at 366-2222. It's for boys and girls between the ages of 1 month and 6 years, and there's no entry fee. So if you have the cutest kid or most adorable grandchild, register now at 366-2222. It's great family fun, big prizes, and keepsakes for a lifetime. Register free now, 366-2222.
When you go to bed at night, you can rest assured that CBS 7 is watching out for you.
While you're sleeping, we're working. When you have thunderstorms that induce
tracking overnight developments.
We will, of course, continue to follow this story.
Breaking weather. A lot of these pulse-type thunderstorms.
All the important stories, so you're set up for the day ahead.
Give you more updates as we receive.
We're all over it, all morning long.
Make it a great day, everyone. Jumpstart your morning with CBS 7 Morning News. Your eye on West Texas.
Welcome back. Congress's inability to compromise on a spending plan or President Obama's health care law affects us all, even down to the way we shop. Target, the second largest retailer in the country, is having to shift focus on this uncertain economy. Carol Costello sat down exclusively with the CEO.
1, 2, 3.
It's a great day for C.L. Gideon's elementary school kids in Atlanta, where a smile could be had for a song.
Well, you got me, baby, and that's a lie.
Target, as part of its billion-dollar commitment to education, revamped the school's library and even stocked the shelves.
Giving back is part of our DNA.
It's perhaps the most enjoyable part of Greg Steinhoffel's job. As the CEO of the nation's second-largest retailer, the rest is challenging. But running any kind of business in an uncertain economy ain't fun.
We were very encouraged in the beginning of 2012 when we got off to just a fantastic start, and it seemed like the economy is really starting to gain some momentum, and things softened up in the last half of 2012. And I think that we were expecting 2013 to improve more than it has.
So Target is cutting back on holiday hiring. This year it plans to hire about 70,000 temporary workers, down from 88,000 a year ago. Instead, Target will offer more holiday hours to full-time staffers. Steinhoffel insists the change is not because he expects sales to be down, but because shopping habits have changed.
This is a time where there is greater transformation going on in our business than we've seen in a long time, and it's really the convergence of a lot of factors. It's the physical retailers needing to be more digital, and it's digital retailers wanting to be more physical and bringing merchandise close to their guests.
Steinhoffel's company is also grappling with Washington and what he feels is an inability to come up with a cohesive plan for the economy. And then there's Obamacare.
We spent a lot of time in Washington helping to shape that legislation and to provide credibility around what is a large employer, what are the challenges that faces Target. Clearly, we're going to comply with everything, but our objective is really to help make the legislation better.
A lot of companies are saying part-time workers, go to the insurance exchanges to sign up. We're not going to foot the bill anymore. So what is Target's stance?
Well, we haven't made any final decisions yet because our enrollment period is a little later than everybody else's. So we're still looking at how the law is being shaped and written, what other competitors are doing, and we're assessing the landscape to try and determine what's the right thing for us to do as a company.
A company that still has a major challenge ahead, attracting holiday shoppers at a time when Target's retail sales have been soft. Key to turning Target's signature red into black.
And here's a look at some of today's top trending stories on CBS7.com. The city of Odessa and Fort Stockton are working together to search under Pecos County for a long-term water source, but the two cities cannot come to an agreement on a contract, and the struggle has hit a boiling point. A joint meeting was held Tuesday in hopes of ironing out the details and signing a contract, but that was far from what happened. Both cities are digging in their heels and waiting for the other to budge. If a contract can be agreed on, the next step is drilling a test well to verify the quantity of water. If no agreement is met, Odessa city officials say they have other long-term water options. Concerned residents and local council members are petitioning state lawmakers to build a pedestrian walkway on the Highway 87 bridge. The bridge is a major artery in Big Spring that connects north side homes to businesses and services, mostly on the south side. Many residents have to walk across the bridge to get there, and these citizens say the narrow sidewalks have become too dangerous. They hope the state legislature will fund a new pedestrian walkway. TxDOT is investigating another art exhibit outside of Marfa, Texas. TxDOT says the Prada Marfa display outside of Valentine is an illegal advertisement. The news comes shortly after TxDOT asked Playboy Marfa to be taken down. The gallery backing Prada Marfa says controversy is expected. Organizers say no official notice has been given by TxDOT to make any changes to the exhibit. TxDOT tells CBS 7 that the investigation into Prada Marfa is ongoing. Coming up tonight on the CBS 7 News at 6, people in the city of Rankin are working together to help raise money for education, but they're still short of their goal. Find out how much they've raised so far and how you can help tonight at 6. And there is still much more to come here on Closer Look. It's a disease that you may not even know you have, and it causes severe muscle weakness in thousands. After the break, we take an in-depth look at myositis and the government's move to make us all more aware. Stay with us.
When you got to get to the other side of no man's land, it's not the Ford EcoBoost V6 you want under your hood. Chevy Silverado offers the most fuel-efficient V8 of any pickup, even better than the F-150 EcoBoost V6. Out here, you want what's under here.
Put Silverado to the test at the Silverado vs. All event.
Now get an introductory lease offer on this Texas Edition Silverado for around $299 per month. See your local Chevy dealer today.
I'm Rob Marciano.
And I'm Nancy O'Dell. CBS 7 is your eye on West Texas.
And Entertainment Tonight is your eye on entertainment.
Get the latest breaking celebrity news from Hollywood and see the ET difference.
Weeknights at 6:30 after CBS 7 News at 6.
MGB, Mike's Gold Buyers pays more. We're the honest, trustworthy, fair, fast, and friendly place to sell your gold, silver, and diamonds. Not all gold stores are the same. Come see the honest difference at MGB, Mike's Gold Buyers in Midland, on Midkiff just south of the Andrews Highway across from Furs. Or visit us on the web at mikesgoldbuyers.com. Come to MGB, Mike's Gold Buyers, and see why our customers say,
I sold gold and I like Mike.
Now through Tuesday at Rooms to Go. Choose from 50 great-looking rooms all under $1,000 or finance interest-free for $20 a month or less. Living rooms, bedrooms, and dining rooms. 50 different rooms under $1,000 or $20 a month or less interest-free. How's that for great value? So hurry to Rooms to Go. Choose from 50 different rooms, each under $1,000 or finance interest-free for $20 a month or less. Now through Tuesday at Rooms to Go.
Okay, it's the Built Ford Tough Sales event, so let's crunch the numbers. See, when it comes to building stuff and hauling stuff to keep America growing, more folks count on Ford F-150. Hey, the numbers don't lie. We own work. And only F-150 has the best combo of fuel economy and torque. That's EcoBoost, pal. One more thing. We own weekends, too, because hauling stuff ain't always work.
Now get 0 for 66 or up to $9 grand in total savings on F-150 at your best in Texas Ford dealer.
When you need to know what's happening in West Texas, happening in your community, you need The Morning Drive. You need Robert and Kurt. You need The Morning Drive.
Closer Look, presented by your Texas Ford dealers. Ford is the best in...
Welcome back. It's currently estimated that 30 to 50,000 Americans may suffer from a disease and not know it. Myositis is a condition that causes inflammation in muscles, weakness, swelling, and pain that many of us cannot imagine are common symptoms, which is why this week the U.S. Congress named September 21st Myositis Awareness Day. Joining us now live in the newsroom is Dick Glasman, a myositis patient. Dick, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you describe for us what myositis is like?
Yes, myositis is a rare progressive muscle disease, and it causes weaknesses in the quadricep muscles and flexor muscles in the arms. And it affects your ability to rise from a sitting position and going upstairs. And it is a progressive in nature and gets worse as years go by.
I'm sure it's hard for any of us.
I first noticed muscle weakness 10 years ago when I couldn't hit a golf ball very far and I had difficulty rising from a seated position. I therefore went into a year-long medical evaluation from MRIs, CAT scans, X-rays, and other associated nerve conduction study tests, and eventually had a muscle biopsy which confirmed that I had inclusion body myositis.
Right.
And there are two other forms of myositis, namely polymyositis and another one called dermatomyositis. Those diseases do have pain associated with them, and there is various medication that people take, and their disease goes into remission at times, and the pain that they experience can be dealt with by medication. The myositis that I have, inclusion body myositis, there is no treatment available for it, and there is basically no pain, no medication that will offer any assistance to the thing.
Right. Mr. Glasman, when you were diagnosed, were you aware, did you know what myositis was, or was this the first time you had heard of the disease?
There was no treatment available for inclusion body myositis, but people with the polymyositis and dermatomyositis, their disease does go into remission, and they do carry on an active life. In my situation, I have progressively got weaker in my muscles, and I am now unable to walk and have to use a power chair to get around. I also have a hospital bed that will elevate me to allow me to stand up, and I have a power toilet aid which allows me to exit my power chair and get on and off a toilet by the assistance of the elevation of the toilet seat.
All right, Mr. Glasman, thank you so much for joining us today and shedding some light really on this disease that a lot of us really know nothing about. I appreciate you for coming in and sharing your story.
There are no risk factors associated with myositis because the cause is unknown, and with reference to the inclusion body myositis I had, there is no treatment available. There is research going on in Washington and various places in the country to try to develop a medication that will help and cure the muscle disease that I have. And as I mentioned before, the people with polymyositis and dermatomyositis, they do get relief from various forms of medication, and many can carry on a natural life.
All right, Mr. Glasman, thank you so much for coming in today. And certain drugs can cause temporary muscle damage, which can lead to the diagnosis of myopathy, which could actually be myositis. Those drugs include colchicine, plaquenil, alpha interferon, cocaine, and alcohol. Well, that's all for Closer Look. Stay tuned for CBS 7 News at 5.